Okay, here is the winter outlook for 2014 and 15. Meteorologist Mike York at the National Weather Service in Paducah. I'm going to talk about the winter outlook and the role of the polar vortex. That's a term we heard a lot last winter. I'll go into a little depth on what exactly that means. Okay, here's the official outlook for the coming winter. This was issued in November by the Climate Prediction Center, which does the long-range forecasting for the United States. The southern half of the United States has the highest probabilities of below normal temperatures this winter, especially south of the Kentucky-Missouri borders, where there is about a 45% chance of below normal temperatures. Across the northern half of the United States, you can see about equal chances of above or below normal temperatures. And what this means is basically a low confidence outlook, obviously. As far as precipitation for the winter, we have area of below normal precipitation, fairly high confidence in that from the Great Lakes region down across the lower Ohio Valley, and above normal precipitation is forecast across the southern tier of states from Southern California all the way across to Florida. But take note that the probabilities in all of these graphics are generally at or below 50%. And that actually is not too uncommon for long-range outlooks. What is normal in the middle of winter in our area? Well, in the middle of January, our normal highs get as low as the lower 40s. Our normal lows get down into the mid-20s. Our normal seasonal snowfall ranges from about 9 inches along the Tennessee border up to about 12 inches in the Evansville area and along I-64. The average number of days per winter with a low temperature below 10 degrees, not a wind chill, but an actual low temperature below 10 degrees, averages between 6 and 9 across our region. So what happened last winter? We heard the term polar vortex an awful lot in the news, and the media, and even some meteorologists often applied this term incorrectly to pretty much any Arctic outbreak. As the next slide will show, our worst winters actually occur when the polar vortex breaks down. Here is a graphic that shows the polar vortex configuration that we had approximately last winter on the left, and then the more typical compact configuration on the right. In a more typical situation, the polar vortex is a more consolidated area of very cold temperatures organized around the pole. And this is a northern hemisphere view of the Earth. Last winter we had, I guess what you'd call chunks of polar vortex kind of rotating around, and these little chunks would move into the United States every so often, producing exceptionally cold weather across much of the U.S. east of the Rockies. So what is it that causes this to happen? Well, we know that they've been happening more frequently in recent years, these kind of breakdowns of the polar vortex, but the specific causes of these breakdowns are simply not known. Therefore, the skill at forecasting them is almost non-existent. So a typical long-range forecast does not really contain much in the way of polar vortex forecasting. So could we have a repeat of last winter again this winter? The answer is yes, we could, simply because the polar vortex is very, very difficult to forecast on timescales of more than a couple of weeks in advance. And now the good news, spring is just around the corner. This was taken in April of 2008. Late season snow event occurred in western Kentucky, and this picture was sent in from a school teacher in Hopkinsville.